The Clean Formulas worksheet lists BIOS passwords for over 700 individual voting system components in 63 Colorado counties, which will probably go 99% for Trump, watch. Secretary of State Jena Griswold's reckless disregard for professional standards and consistent lack of transparency has threatened trust in our democratic system.
There was about 9 voter registration ballots that were not mine.
But to her surprise,
Again, last night,
there was another stack in there.
Things get even worse for Jena Griswold. Now we know that those passwords were on the internet for a lot longer than we thought, months, and they'd been online when she knew that they were problematic, and she just left them up there for a little while. Not good. Now the Republicans out of Colorado are demanding that she resign, calling for a nice resignation letter from her, which of course will never happen. And there's a new affidavit out that shows us what actually went down with the technical problems there in Colorado. But here is Marshall Zellinger, who broke the story that we covered yesterday about these passwords. Of course, it was really the Republican GOP in Colorado who put out an email blast saying passwords are public now. That really lit the whole thing off. But here's what he says. For 5 days, Colorado's Secretary of State knew passwords to voting machines had been visible online before having any of them changed. Okay, so it was a free-for-all. Some passwords are still active and not all have been changed. I'll be updating my reporting on this tonight, says Marshall Zellinger, and he has, of course, done that. Says we're 6 days away from the most important election in our lifetime, and there was another interesting story over there. But you remember Kyle Clark was the individual yesterday who laced into Jena Griswold and asked her to resign, or if she was considering it, to her face, and of course she said no. But she should, because look at this incompetence. This was an affidavit that I found reposted over here from John Cremens, and it's been shared by others. And here you can see it looks like it's redacted, but it says, I, so-and-so, declare under oath that the following facts are true. And this is somebody who is blowing the whistle on the discovery of these passwords. He says, I'm over the age of 18, competent in all respects to make this affidavit. And says, on 3 occasions in 2024, on August 8th, October 16th, and October 23rd, I have accessed through the internet the Colorado Secretary of State website called coloradosos.gov and clicked on their voting systems webpage and have used a link which is no longer available on that page, but which was previously available through at least October 23rd of this year to download a Microsoft Excel file weighing in at 562 KBs named voting system inventory.xlsx, the more modern version of the Excel spreadsheet. The voting system inventory.xlsx file, upon downloading and opening with the Microsoft Excel application, contains one visible worksheet named inventory, listing voting system components by county, showing one row for each component and columns listed serial number, county, model, vendor, remarks, inactive, firmware, software version. Nice little spreadsheet, bunch of boring numbers. The same Excel file, upon right-clicking the worksheet tab section of the main screen and selecting unhide, advanced hacking technology there, opens a dialog box where the application user can select from one, several, or all 4 listed hidden worksheets contained in the file. The 4 hidden worksheets are named Clean Formulas, Old Equipment Database, Old_Working, and Old_ICKS. Upon unhiding and viewing those previously hidden worksheets, 3 of the 4 worksheets, all of them but Old_ICXs, appear to list basic input-output system passwords for some listed components. BIOS passwords. In the worksheets, Clean_Formulas and Old_Equipment Database, those passwords are shown in a column titled BIOS Password. And those passwords can again be associated with specific components in specific counties by the data for each row in the columns, which are entitled serial number, county, model, vendor, and device type. The Clean Formulas worksheet lists BIOS passwords for over 700 individual voting system components in 63 Colorado counties. The only county for which no voting system BIOS password listed is Los Animas County, which will probably go 99% for Trump, watch. Comparison of values if the serial number columns of the inventory and Clean Formulas worksheets indicates that the Clean Formulas worksheet lists BIOS passwords for voting system components that are currently in use in at least 10 of Colorado's 12 largest counties, by population. Oh, Jena, you're kidding. Are you serious? 63 counties? 700 individual voting systems? That's a lot. It's a lot of election problems. And I remember from the reporting, you said other election problems worthy of pulling machines out of service and investigating them and all of that stuff. But are you going to do that right now? No, obviously she's not. So things are getting bad there. You can see that even the Republicans, Colorado House Republicans, are now asking that she resign. Says they're calling for Griswold, Crazy Eyes, to resign following a serious breach of election security protocols. Her office's recent posting of the passwords online has raised significant concerns about the accountability of our voting system. And they published this press release telling us the following, saying, look, all right, Jena, listen up. This is the Republican Party of Colorado speaking. In response to a serious breach of voting system security protocols by Jena, which posted critical election equipment passwords online, Colorado House Republicans are now issuing the following statement. Minority Leader Pugliese said, Secretary of State Jena Griswold's reckless disregard for professional standards and consistent lack of transparency has threatened trust in our democratic system. It's true. She's basically an insurrectionist. By causing doubt in the security of our election process. Her office has mailed postcards to 30,000 non-citizens, illegally encouraging them to register to vote. Falsely informed other voters that they had not voted when they already had, so they vote again. Now has disclosed election system passwords on the internet. Whew, man, what a disaster. Pugliese said, well, I have the utmost trust in the integrity of our county clerks who actually oversee the counting of the votes. I have no trust in Secretary Crazy Eyes that she's capable of leading our election system. Enough of her incompetence. It is time for her to resign. The people of Colorado deserve better. Now, Assistant Minority Leader Ty Winter said the same. He said the House Republicans are committed to ensuring accountability in our election processes. This recent breach from Jena highlights the critical need for public transparency and oversight to protect the integrity of our voting system and to restore public trust. Now, Coloradans deserve leaders who will safeguard our elections, and we urge every voter to turn out, baby, and help us bring balance and responsible governance back to Colorado. So, Republican Party jumping on it, as they should. I mean, it's just a disaster over there. In fact, the FBI is now investigating the Dropbox fires that were taking place in Washington. They are looking into that incendiary device that was dropped next to the Portland box. There was a fire suppression unit built in there that nuked the fire before it got bad. And a communications specialist said another Dropbox was also equipped with fire suppression, but it did not work as it should have. Wow. So 488 damaged ballots they've identified. 345 of those voters had already contacted them to request a replacement ballot. They said, no, we dropped our ballots in there. It's my box. Election staff will mail 143 ballots and they'll get more people to vote. They were unable to identify 6 ballots. Other ballots may have been completely burned to ash and therefore unidentifiable. Someone said, I appreciate everyone's understanding. Election workers updated their retrieval schedules. Now they're going to pick up ballots before 5:30 every day rather than leaving them in there for a while. In addition, the county said via email that employees now serve as ballot box observers 24 hours a day. So they're actually watching them now. Now, according to the New York Times, the incendiary devices found at the Vancouver and the Portland Dropbox arson sites were marked with the words, Free Gaza. What? Elsewhere, votes were coming in. So we're really seeing steady returns here in King County thus far. And they're collecting hundreds of thousands of ballots. Everything is pouring in. In fact, so many ballots are pouring in. This woman got 16 of them, and she's not 16 people. Here is the report over from Washington.
Aya says she went down to check her mailbox.
There was about 9 voter registration ballots that were not mine. So I thought that was strange.
Yeah.
So I ended up returning them to the post office here.
But to her surprise,
Again last night.
there was another stack in there. This time 7 different ballots.
Long name Mohammed, last name Mustafa.
She only lives in a 2-bedroom apartment. Most of the ballots are addressed to different last names, but all have one thing in common, her unit number.
Management said no one's lived here for 3 months.
Maybe the
that's
people who were
Mufasa.
registered at her apartment before didn't update their address through USPS when they moved, but still, Visaya wonders,
Why didn't I get all of their other mail forwarded here? Or just junk mail or anything like that.
Because they're
We
fake.
got her on a
That's why.
call with King County Elections Chief of Staff Kendall Hodson.
In 30 years of voting, I've never had that many ballots that don't belong to me, you know?
She told King 5 they have daily calls with the USPS, so they're planning on raising this issue to them.
Would you be all right with our folks coming to pick them up from you? That's going to be probably the easiest way for us to sort it out.
Hodson also told us, quote, even if someone gets a second ballot or more, whether under their name or someone else's, we'll only ever count one ballot per registered voter with their matching signature.
Are you going to make sure that it gets expedited to the recipients?
We need to get them a replacement ballot. We'll get that out. If we need to, update their registration to a different address, we'll do that as well.
Time is of the essence here. For those mailing a ballot in, the Secretary of State's office recommends you get it in the mail.
16 ballots, bunch of foreign names. She has no idea who they are, all coming to her hand over fist. So here's another one. We've got another report from this fella on X, Darth Call, shared, just voted in California, got dirty looks by the organizers when I asked if I needed to show my ID. You need to see this? If you wanted to vote red, blue, or red for Trump, you had to click an extra button to even select the candidates on the Republican ticket. You had to click more to do so. So here's what that looks like. And if you're in California, you have to let us know if you're seeing this. Here's apparently a picture from the screen. Kamala Harris, #1, RFK, who's not even running, Chase Oliver, and then Jill Stein. More for Trump. So if you're seeing that, of course, let us know, because anybody who has done even a landing page, an email, you put stuff on top if you want people to see it and click it. You bury it under the fold. You make people click extra buttons to go vote for your opponent. And I don't know if it's rotating this, right? If the next voter gets a different screen, if it's randomized or what, but you put it below the fold when you want to hide it. No one clicks the read more, okay? Everybody just reads the headline and moves on. I read more all the time. I actually hate that stupid button, but you get the point. So that's happening. Of course, the secretaries are going to continue to move the knobs around the margins where they can to finagle a victory for the Democrats. We'll be here continuing to cover it.